So I've been struggling with how to get these videos started. Like, I have so much to say, and I'm trying to be respectful and, of other people's privacy and everything. And, just my family. I don't want them to feel, the repercussions or anything that I might say because I'm an open book. I don't care. Um, I've lived, you know what I mean? And I'm not going to say I'm proud of every decision I've ever made, but I'm sure as hell not embarrassed about it because every little thing that has happened to me in my life has taught me more about my purpose and why I'm here. And talking about that months ago would have, like, oh my God, Brandy. But like now it's comfortable, it's home. And through all these last 5 months I've realized that it's not just me that is going through this, like it's on a collective level. um, it's happening all over, everywhere, and not everybody's going to resonate with this because if you're the type of person that is like, some people are like happy with the 9 to 5 and like the big beautiful house, the white picket fence, and like the 2.5 kids and stuff. And to me, I've always wanted more. I've always wanted magical. I mean, I'm an artist. I've always, that's just been me. So I've always, wanted more, the unconventional. Like, I didn't want the normal 9 to 5, this and that. Like, I want adventure. I want the magic. Like, and that's just me. And that is okay. And it took me 43 years to realize that is okay. It's okay. And I've been through a lot of stuff in my 43 years of life. A lot of people would be like, you wouldn't go back and take anything back? No, I wouldn't, because guess what? Every situation, everything that I've been through has brought me out on the other side so much more intentional and insightful and wiser, and more open to the world and what it really is. But one thing I've really been struggling with lately is the spirituality aspect of it, because of, I know my relationship with God. I know it. And it's been flipped upside down. So I feel like by me sharing what I've learned along this journey and where I'm at can help a lot of other people connect the dots, because what I've realized is that labels are okay for a period of time. They actually keep you safe for a period of time. But other times, you're meant to go into your own thinking, into your own experiences, into your own inner knowing for the answers. So, like everything I've learned about God, I grew up Catholic, and then I switched to the Pentecostal church, and that's where my relationship with God really, really deepened. And then kind of fell out of that, and then started questioning things. But I knew, like, nobody can tell me God is not real. Like, the Bible, like, God has given me the scripture, John 1:1, since a child. That has always been the scripture that has popped up every time it needed to in my life, which is, in the beginning was the Word was with God, and the Word was God. Basically, the Word is the flesh. And it's just now that I'm understanding what that actually means, like, when I pray to God, like, I hear him. He comforts me. He's made miracles happen in my life. Like you wouldn't believe. But whenever I went through this dark time, back in April or September now, so 5-ish months, you know. It was a very, very dark time. Like, I didn't know what was happening, you know. I knew I was always sensitive more than other people. I identified as an empath, but I didn't know really what an empath was. You know, we're taught that empathy is when you are able to understand other people's emotions based on their experiences, which you're able to take apart your own persona or identification of a situation and understand it from that person's point of view. So that's what we think empathy is. Being an empath is so, that's not even really what it really is, because actually a lot of people that identify as empaths don't have empathy, really. And I've flip-flopped through my life. That's another thing I've realized. And that was another thing holding me back, is because I felt like I had to have all the answers. I had to have all my dots connected in order for me to start this platform, to start talking about it, to start sharing my story. Because what if I change my mind? Or what if things that I learned make me see things from a different point of view? And then, you know, how can I go back once I start talking about things? But that's the whole point of this, is that once we are stuck, that's where labels come back. You know, once we are stuck or glued to a label and that limited thinking, it's harder for you to go inside yourself to make up your own mind, you know? But I've realized that's the beauty of everything, is not being married to some. Yes, you might think you knew it at this point, but then something's going to happen in life. You know, it's a tower moment, you know, a situation that you go through that was meant to teach you something. And if you can learn from that, then why should you be worried about having a new perspective on something? That's the whole point of things. So that's like really what encouraged me, and was like, okay, you can do this, because this is still life. Everything is a learning process. And the day you think you know everything is the day you stop living. And the day that, your whole life becomes a tower. Every interaction becomes a tower. Because you have to always be open to trusting yourself. And that's another hard thing for empaths, is we've never learned to trust ourselves, because we've been so confused, because we've never known that, like, hey, why something might be so confusing is because people are projecting onto us. Like, they're, you know, and you're picking that up. And the greatest thing I've ever learned in my life was learning how to tell the difference between my own energy and someone else's energy. If it was somebody projecting onto me, or if it was my inner knowing trying to tell me. And I will link a video from Witch and Scythe. She actually has, in one of her collective readings, she talks about how to be able to tell if it's your energy or someone else's. So I'll quickly tell you about that maybe at the end of this video, but I'll also link the video. She has some really good stuff. If you're resonating with any of the things I'm saying, go check out her channel. It's really worth it. And I'm so nervous about posting these things, but I'm just like, I'm filming them and I'm like posting them before I'm even able to think twice about it, because I know that there are people out there from where I'm from that know me, that are gonna be like, oh God, Brandy's off her rocker again, you know, like she's done lost it. But you know what? Like, if that's what you think, then that just shows your small mind, you know, because if you really did know me, then you knew where I was coming from, and I was coming from the heart with this, and you knew that it takes a lot for me to be able to post this. So if you are like having some sort of like little reaction to this, like, think to yourself, like, what am I triggering in you? Like, really go deep. Why is this triggering to you? What is it like? What is this digging up in yourself? That's what you really need to ask yourself, you know. And for me to let that stop me from making these videos would be an injustice to the people who really could use it right now, because I know that if I didn't have all these content creators to turn to, like, this whole process would have been so much more darker, because I have no one in my life that I can talk to. Like, I think I might told 2 people as of recently, because I've become okay with where I am and what's happening. And so, like, kind of by posting these videos, it's going to be like, whoa, what the, you know, because really nobody has a clue. I've been in hermit mode for 5 months, literally, like, in my house for 5 months. And I like, today I'm actually going to go to a meeting, because I need to get out there. Like, I need to start feeling like a person again. Like, I've been in my hermit mode, and, I've done my inner, you know, work. I'm not finished it. I'll never finish it, you know, like, but I've gotten to a point to where I'm realizing, oh, this is why that happened. Like, I knew it was, you know, but like, oh, wow, you know, and I can be around people again, because I'm not so hyper emotional. I'm not so super emotional. Like, I can, I'm at a comfortable place right now for the first time in a long time. And it feels really good. But yeah, so, but that's what I really want to talk about, is like, if anybody has just like going through this, whether it's a relationship or a situation or just a period of time, and actually, like, with Pisces moving, or with all these planets moving, that was another thing. Like, I realized, like, I've always, like, followed my little astrology. I'm a Taurus sun, but I never realized, hey, my moon, my rising, my north node, my south node, like, my north node is Leo. We're about to move in to Leo. Like, that is all about being a leader, sharing your story. Like, and then my south node, which is what you come to this earth with, like, is Aquarius, which it's whoa. I'll get into all that stuff maybe in another video. But like, it makes so much sense. And then, like, but like, my moon and rising is Virgo, which, putting all that together, and then like learning my human design chart, like, I'm a projector, which is wait for the invitation. And I've just learned so much. And what almost stopped me from all of this was my conviction of religion, because in the Christian church, you learn like astrology and like tarot cards, and all these things are like the devil and all this stuff. And I'm a Christian. I'm not, you know what I mean? Like, I have a relationship with God. Like, I know God is real. Like, I know He's there. But I also know that I have like this intuition that I've always lived by. I haven't always listened to it, but it's guided a good portion of my life. You know what I mean? Like, we go through things like addiction and alcoholism and things where we try to cover it, and then like, oh, mental health issues and, you know, all these things. So we try to avoid it, but like, realizing like, no, this was given to me by God. God has given me, like, in the beginning was the Word was with God, the Word was God, like John 1:1, and like, putting all that together. And I know that when something is not for me, my intuition, God will convict me of it. And when God convicts me of something, let me tell you, I am listening, because I have not listened to His convictions before. And that's when my towers have come. And God has not convicted me once, any type of way, for learning the tarot and for listening to my intuition and to going into deep meditation and talking to Him and for an answer. And I think that that's where my story is meant to come into play. Because I've realized along this way that we've needed, like my son and them, they are really big into church, and my fear was that, oh my gosh, he's not going to want to talk to me because he's going to think about, the tarot. I mean, I raised him. He's in that church, we started going there, and now I'm kind of going, not like against God, like God is still who I pray to. I still thank God, you know what I mean? Like, and I still read my Bible. I still, listen to God, his conviction. Like I still, but I had to sit back and like, wait, my son and his wife and his family, they consult God for every decision they make. They go to God. They pray, and God guides every decision. So I know that me being able to share this with people who need it isn't going to ruin our relationship, because that was the only thing that worried me. But I know that God directs his life, and I know that God is directing my life, and I know that God will, confirm. You know what I mean? I know God's going to let him know that, hey, whatever. So I have to trust that. That's what I have to trust. So that's why I've been able to do this. But I think that that's where my story is going to come in to help people who are going through this thing. I mean, we grew up thinking that certain, divination, like, the tarot cards, or even if you don't necessarily go to the tarot or whatever, but like learning to listen to my intuition and knowing that is of God, that is God, that's him, and just trying to help people. Like, you don't have to forget your religion, your everything, but you also don't have to stick to the man-made version of it. Like, if God speaks to you and you have a good relationship with God, and you find other avenues to add to your practices that aren't necessarily viewed upon highly in whatever establishment you belong to, it's okay, because God is within you. We are all one. Like, we're all the one. And once we realize that, like, God's going to direct you. He's not going to lead you the wrong way.